let's look at some of the tweets because it all kicked off. Khabib posted something which just said, "Great feeling after 5 championship rounds. See you soon, my fans, very soon, and thank all the guys for the support all these years." Conor jumps in with, "You got your money, and your brother's eye socket got shook when you fought me, you little rat. Viva Las Vegas. The gaff always wins. Big stomper party. Win coming soon. Proper whiskey, all that sort of stuff." Khabib then goes, "Money comes and goes. The honour you lost that evening will never return. Live with it. Finish a career in MMA. Start a career in Twitter." Now that's deep already.
Yeah.
And then he said,
then it gets deeper.
Then it goes real deep, mate. He says, Conor goes, "Don't be scared of the rematch, you little scurrying rat. You will do what you are told, like you always like to do." Then he posts a picture of his coach with a shiner on the right eye. "I smacked your brother around and took it." Something in his hat, almost did there. And then this is the bit that really kicked it off as far as the controversy. Conor, I believe Khabib had mentioned something about Conor always being like the jealous wife, threatening to leave and then staying around, so talking about him retiring, not retiring, when he was asked a question on that. And then Conor McGregor's response, he posted a picture of Khabib at his wedding with your wife as a towel mate, with a picture of her sat next to him in the shroud that they wear during that Muslim ceremony, and that's when it all really kicked off. So Abdulaziz got involved. Conor then started attacking some of the other fighters, one of the ones that's just been banned from USADA, and Khabib put his own 2 penneth worth in with posting the picture of Conor and the lady in the bathroom, where he said, this is quoting Khabib Nurmagomedov, "Rapist, you are a rapist. You are a hypocrite who is not responsible for your actions. Justice will find you. We will see at Notorious." That's getting deep, isn't it?
I mean, it's getting beyond.
Where's the line, mate?
Yeah.
Where is the line?
Because they've gone way past it. Both of them have, obviously. It's like one thing you're going to say is cause a reaction, and I do think I love Conor the bits. I think he's done fantastic things for this sport, but I just think now it's just getting a little bit OTT. If you know what I mean, it's getting beyond. It's getting personal. As in, I don't mind 2 people being personal to each other. When you start bringing in outside objects of like family, even friends, training partners, and whatever like that.
Wives, religion. These are bigger subjects. These are things that can affect how other people think and feel. And if you want to look at the Conor McGregor effect, you just had to see when he first started making waves. But I think it was 6 years ago he fought Marcus Brimage in Stockholm. All of a sudden, rounds Dublin, you had young men growing the beards, walking around with the swagger in the suits, copying what he does. You've got to be aware that what you say or the way you say it can echo down through the people 100%. That look up to you, right?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I think now because of this monster kind of what's Conor McGregor has become like a massive thing within MMA. He's going to have a lot of people looking up to him to say, "Oh, this is how I could or should succeed within the sport." So he has to have a little bit of responsibility, but I mean, like, I've met him quite a few times, and he's a really nice, humble guy. And with him, it always seemed that his Twitter beef and his arguments are always with his weight class, which I respect. You know, like, you don't, you know,
sticks with people he's going or could fight,
and he will fight them. You know, so like, cool, we could try out all this sort of stuff, but then we're going to fight. Well, obviously, with this boom, it's created other people like that. A bit like we have a look at Kobe Covington, which is taking it to a different level where he's insulting anyone. People's cats and dogs are in trouble here. You know, like he's not just his weight class, all weight classes, countries. You know, you name it. Yeah, I mean, I just think sometimes it's like I say, it's not WWE. All right.
Yeah.
It's not again, I don't want any spoilers there. It's not like make believe. WWE is not real. It's all scripted kind of thing, right? Yeah. This is real. So you start chatting rubbish to fighters, right? And you start causing beef with fighters, you're going to be fighting. And I mean, don't get me wrong, that's what Conor wants. Conor wants that fight, it's fine. But then you get other people who like someone like Kobe Covington who's talking all this sort of stuff, and then he gets a boomerang thrown at him.
From Verdum from Australia.
Yeah, Verdum. He's never going to fight Verdum. Verdum's like massive compared to him. So like,
it's a good thing to throw though, isn't it, mate? Because at least you know you're going to get it back. Yeah, that's it. So you're not wasting your money on that.
But like I'm saying, you got to watch out what your mouth's, what checks your mouth's writing. You know, like, because your body can't cash them always, and like, someone big's gonna come and find you, you know, and there's always consequences. And like you say, when you're talking to fighters like myself, I never really got into, like I said, Twitter beef as such. You know, I always respected everyone within my sport because it's not easy to do what we do. Get in there, fight. It takes a lot of nerves. So that's why I always say I respect everyone, whoever. But any level, UFC to local show, it's not easy mentally to get in there. So as soon as you've done that walk, I have a massive respect for you. So like then that's why if anyone really got a bit of Twitter beef with me kind of thing, I take it very personal because I'm like, hey, what's rattled your cage? I'm keeping myself to myself. And so for me, it makes it more personal. And when it's personal like that, I would want to fight you. I feel a little bit like Khabib. Khabib never really worries about money or fame.
Yeah,
he's all about respect and honor, and I'm a little bit like that as well. So like, if I feel disrespected, I will see you. You know, and it doesn't have to be in the cage or a ring or whatever it is, and we'll fight. And if you want to sell it out, we'll fight. I don't need the money. I don't need the fame. You know, behind closed doors, whatever. Normally, if I get in most sort of anything like that, I normally always message the person privately because I don't like to, you know, make a scene. You know, like, hey, if you've got a problem with me, let's take it off air and let's chat about it and let's sort it out. You know, kind of thing. And obviously, I'm not saying that Conor and Khabib are going to do that, but
I'd like to see their DMs, mate.
Yeah.
That would be so.
But it's like, but it's one of those ones where they're now. This is wherever they go. They can't be within vicinity of each other. It's just causing so much hassle.
Makes
around.
the fight harder to make as well because now you've got to look and we.
What
even
country you're going to do it in?
Exactly, where you're going to do it, and no matter where you do it, you're going to bring fans together, fans that are going to be fighting, waving the flags, representing the fighters there behind, and whatever ramifications kick off from this are going to echo into the stands, which is dangerous. Yeah. But even Kevin Gastelum, he was talking in his interviews this week on the media day for UFC 236, and he was saying you got to be careful because this is moving to the point where it's now becoming dangerous, and I don't want to give it the too close to the thing of the old hip hop rivalry, Tupac versus Biggie, where they're rapping against each other, and then suddenly, but
then also you got to think about even like that wasn't Tupac shooting Biggie.
No,
it was one of these whatever. It could be a fan, could be what I mean, like yeah. So when you're this sort of high profile, you have what I call your minions. It will do a lot of your fighting for you, who worship you, will do some crazy stuff and stupid stuff. So yeah, it's getting silly.
Well, it's when you hit those nerves, isn't it? And religion, especially when you're talking about Khabib and the country he comes from, it's so part of their culture. I mean, in England we've got lots of multicultural religions. It's there, but there's also we're not like America, or like I go to Russia a lot, and Dagestan, Chechnya. It's a very religious place, and it's so high up on there.
It's all about respect, isn't it?
Totally.
Whenever I go, me personally, I'm not that religious myself, but if I went to some other country, it was religious.
You respect it.
I would respect that religion. If I go to someone else's house, I respect their house laws. You know, like. Take your shoes off as you walk in the front door. Okay, cool. Don't do it. You know, it's called respect. And I think there's people in life for two different ways. Me, I respect everybody until I'm chosen not to respect you. Until you lose my respect. But you have other people who don't respect anyone, but they have to earn your respect, which is, I think, is a backwards way of doing things.
Yeah, I'm just a bit worried that you've got house laws, mate. That's coming.
Coming to my house, you know, my wife's got house laws, 100%. Shoes off, you know.
That's it. Sing in the kitchen, dance, all that. It's got to the point now where as well Dana White has actually stepped in. Now this is the other flip side of the coin. The UFC and MMA fighters who are signed to the UFC, there's no code of conduct, right? You don't get told when you fought for the UFC, when you were under. They didn't say to you
a little bit. I went to a UFC fan expo. Not fan expo. It's called UFC Fighter Summit. So we got to, I went to one of these ones, and they kind of gave you like a borderline of like what you should and shouldn't do, kind of thing, right? But this is the thing, and obviously it helps. I think social media has helped UFC get to where they are now. How it's made UFC fans UFC fighters so connected to the fans because they could chat, you know, and it makes never in a million years that I thought I could write a tweet to Brad Pitt, woo, Brad Pitt, and like he would see it, or David Beckham, and like, hey mate, you look great today in your match, or you look crap. You know, I don't think he would see that message.
No.
But now, obviously, with this sport, as in like in football, I believe, I don't know if it's changed now, but a lot of football teams ban their football players from social media.
Yeah, that's
you weren't
right.
allowed to do nothing. You're allowed to tweet about the
Same
game.
with the NBA, NHL. There's certain restrictions on what you can do on social media, what you can post, all that stuff.
But with the UFC, they kind of gave you like a free reign, you know. But obviously, back in the day, there were consequences, you know. Like I think it was Miguel Torres.
That's
I
right.
won't repeat the tweet he did, but he got booted out of the UFC for a tweet he did.
Yeah.
You know, I think other people have been disciplined for that. So you have to be very careful. Just say things. I always say this, to be honest, because my mum told me this. You have nothing nice to say, don't say it. Simple as. And then we're living a good world, aren't we?
Yeah, if you have nothing nice to say, don't use 240 characters to insult somebody across the world. But I think it's one of the beauties of MMA and the UFC. It's how I got involved in the sport. I just started interacting with fighters. Even you, mate. That's how we met. I sent you a little DM. You told me delete that picture. Stop sending me them. And then from there, this relationship has blossomed. But,
exactly.
But that interaction is not something you get with, like you said, the Premier League or with NBA or footballers in the NFL. You don't get that. And this is where you can see, because Dana stepped in, and it's the first time I've seen him properly step in on something like this. He came in and said, I'm aware of recent social media exchange between Khabib Nurmagomedov and Conor McGregor. The ongoing situation has escalated to a level that is unacceptable. As such, we are taking necessary steps to reach out to both camps, and this situation is being addressed by all parties internally. So that's them stepping in, and that says a lot. If Dana is getting on his Twitter, and because he can see that this is going to be dangerous, right?
100%. I mean, like, he should be the voice of reason, really, and hopefully he is the face of the UFC as such. So, like, he doesn't want to get involved as such, but I think he had to.
It'd be a shame.
It was getting a little bit. He could see where this was going.
But the problem is we won't know where this has gone until something happens, will we? If they fight and we get through it and it's all good and it's done and dusted, that's us getting away with it. If something happens on the run up to a fight at one of the press conferences, or they're in the same building or in the same city,
I mean, even now, because like, how would you? Before how it started, they had them at the you couldn't. I don't think you could even do a press conference tour with this fight now.
No.
If this fight ever happened, you know, I don't think you even could do a face off. You know, like, because I think Khabib would just headbutt him or something. You know, like, I mean, like,
for me, I'm not even thinking about them. I'm thinking about the fans, because that means you bringing together two groups of fans which are already flying high and heated.
The Irish fans are very passionate, and Russian fans are very passionate as well. So you have those two nations. I can't see it not spilling outside into the ground.